day to you all, and welcome to another episode of Wear Many Hats, the podcast totally dedicated to the FM and property world. Today, we've got a fantastic guest, Ana Bernardo. She is Head of Operations for Work.Life. Welcome, Ana.
Thank you so much for having me.
We just had a little chat before, being from Portugal, and I lived there as a child. So I'm excited to hear about your journey and coming into the UK and setting up the career that you've had, which is pretty amazing.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to share that with you.
Lovely. So should we get started, shall we?
Yeah.
So where did you come from today? Did you come from far?
I actually come from our work-life space in Holborn, just literally 20 minutes away. Perfect commute.
Absolutely. And you walk, or did you?
I walked.
Yeah.
Actually 3 minutes. So
brilliant.
Very perfect spot to come and meet you today.
It is. Oh, that's so good. That's good. I didn't even know you were in Holborn. So yeah, I must come down and have a look.
Please do.
I will.
Have coffee with me.
Lovely. Absolutely. So let's rewind a little bit and let's go back to the beginning of your career. Where did it all start for you?
So if we look at my career and my previous career, I used to call it, I actually started my career in science, and I was doing stem cell research.
Oh.
And that was my first kind of professional experience, really. And I was always fascinated about how things work. And I think curiosity has always been kind of that same thread that has connected me throughout, like what I'm doing now, what I was doing in my previous career.
Yeah.
And that curiosity has been like that compass, really. And I see operations a bit of science. So operations are like science, right? It's about understanding how things work. It's about testing. It's about experimenting. It's about how you make things better. So it's quite similar. So that's been kind of where I started and where I'm now. Yeah.
I mean, I looked, obviously I always go and check out everybody on LinkedIn when I interview, and there's a lot of film and stuff on there, and very present as well. So gosh, what's that? What do you do? Tell us.
Yes, actually, I always wanted to be a filmmaker, even before I wanted to be a biologist and a scientist. And at the time, my parents were very conscious that becoming a filmmaker is something that is quite a challenging career.
Yeah.
So they tried to convince me that filmmaking was probably not the best route.
Right.
And I kind of looked at other options, like, okay, so what's the other thing I like?
Yeah.
Biology was definitely top in my interests. So I decided to then go and do science because of that. Adult film has always been there. Yeah. And what I've done is to find a way to keep it in my life. And I've been programming films for more than 10 years now. And I always kept that as a passion. I never wanted that to be my job, because the way I look at it is something I want to do because it's a passion, it's a hobby. I freelance, so I'm paid for that work, but it's something that is not paying my bills, if that makes sense. So it's something that I keep as a passion. I've programmed films for different festivals. Currently, I program films for Rain Dance Film Festival here in London. And it's something that I love doing. And again, film is for me a platform to fulfill that curiosity. And I think film is such an amazing way to know other parts of the world, other parts of what is around us that we don't know normally. And for me, going on stage and presenting those films, speaking with the filmmakers, doing the Q&As is something that I really, really love, and something that really fulfills me. So it's a passion that I still have nowadays. So
exciting.
I almost feel like it's parallel to everything else I've been doing, but it's been definitely constant in that throughout my life.
And that's great that you've managed to, do something that you actually wanted to do when you were younger and still fulfill that passion. I love that. And that shows you what kind of person you really are, I guess. So obviously where did you sort of go from the science side of things? Because obviously that's...
Yeah, so I was doing science and I was finishing my PhD, and I decided then that science was not the career I wanted to take, and many reasons for that. But one of the reasons was science is quite a selfish career, in the sense that to be really good at it, you have to be really focused on one thing, which is your subject.
I see.
And when I say I'm studying stem cells, that's a very broad concept. I mean, when I was studying stem cells, I was studying a specific molecule. I was studying a specific part of that ecosystem, really. And for me, that was quite reductionist. I feel like life has so many interesting things. Why do you have to focus on only one thing?
Yeah.
And at the time I was living in the Netherlands, actually, that's again been part of my life. I always try to put myself into new environments, into meeting new people, understanding and learning about new cultures. I think there is so much value in doing that, in pouring ourselves out of our comfort zone. And it's hard to like move countries and start all over again.
Yeah.
But I also feel like that's a big part of who I am today. And I've got now friends all over the world, and I can go and visit these friends. We were talking about Greece earlier. Yeah. That's a place I go often because one of my best friends is actually from there, and I have the chance to go and visit that many times. Yeah. And it's actually gave me that opportunity to learn, looking at the world from different perspectives.
Definitely.
And I think life is too short to just have one career, live in one place.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's been kind of a drive as well for me. So I was in the Netherlands at that time, and my partner at the time, he's Dutch, and he moved to London, and he was doing his PhD. He's a historian. He's a professor in human rights. Very different world from me now. Yeah. But he moved to London. I was like, oh, why not? I'm going to try and see what's going on in London. And I moved here. And at the time, I was working for a charity on sustainability. Again, big part of what are my values. And I would say my values and my curiosity have been always the compass of my life and what brought me where I am. And potentially is not like a normal career path like other people would have, but I've been always guided by those. And for me, it was like, okay, let's try London. And I was working for this charity, and a friend of mine got a job at Work.Life, and she told me about the world of co-working. And I was like, that sounds really interesting. It's got people working in all kinds of industry. Yeah, got that aspect of like, it was a very young company. At the time, they were like 2 years old. There were 10 people working for the company, lots of opportunity on how we're going to grow, what are we going to do. And it was really exciting to actually join the company at that point.
At that stage, At
that stage. And I was like, this sounds like really exciting. So and I embarked in that. I joined that adventure, and I became a membership manager at the time. I was managing one of the spaces, and from there, I've been building my career within that company. Our founders, when I speak to them, I'm like, and it's going to be 9 years now.
Yes, I can see.
And he's like, it feels like I've worked in different companies though, because the industry has changed so much during those 9 years.
We've had COVID in the middle of that.
We had COVID in the middle of that. But also the company has changed so much because we had to adapt massively. And I think we are such an innovative industry, actually, because we have this ability to adapt quite quickly. So it's been really, really exciting adventure, I must say.
I love this. So Work.Life, you mentioned earlier that you have 14 buildings now. So you're in London, Reading and Manchester with some growth plans. It's very exciting times then. So you're now head of ops. So, one of the questions later on is like what you do in your day job. But so let's just go back to, obviously the question I ask is, did you know you were going to go on this path? Obviously not. Absolutely no idea. You kind of fell into it with your friend, really. So she's kind of the one that gave you a push in your career. But you also mentioned about your parents sort of saying, mine was sort of similar. I wanted to get into beauty, which would have been great because it's like aesthetics now, which is great money, but thanks, Dad. He was like, no way are you doing beauty. So there we go. I went into recruitment because my dad told me to.
Yeah.
25 years later, that was my career, But, we
can always change.
Yeah, we can.
Look at me. You are hosting a podcast. So.
Yeah, he'd have liked this. He would have listened to them, I'm sure.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very proudly.
So did you, who sort of gave you the push in your career? Was it your parents, really? Or
no, I think I never really had a long-term plan. I still don't. And, I often joke, maybe I'm going to change careers again. Nothing is set in stone.
You could.
I'm, again, like for me, as long as I stay connected to my values, to the things that matter to me, this can take me places that I'm not even aware of at the moment. I think it's important that we work towards goals.
Yeah.
But I think it's important that we stay flexible and we stay agile because life changes.
Yeah.
And I think we just need to make sure that whatever we do, we are happy and we are also making people around us happy in the sense that we are
kind.
We are kind to each other because we feel good in ourselves. So if we are doing a job that we don't like, we're going to be struggling, right? And that's going to actually pass on to the people around us. So as long as I'm enjoying what I'm doing, I will continue to pursue that.
Yeah.
From the moment that that's not the case, I'll definitely look for other opportunities and other things I want to do. Again, I think life is too short to be on one path, and I'm excited to learn about things. And if that means changing again, I'm not worried. I'm sure I will adapt. But for me, what's important is to fulfill that curiosity and make sure that I'm in line with those values. It's the key thing for me.
And that's happening where you are. You've been there 8 years and 10 months, so that seems to be happening at Work.Life. You seem to be fulfilled there.
Very much, yes. And I'm really lucky to be working with an amazing team and really lucky to feel supported. Our CEO, Paul, we've been working together for the past 7 years now, and is someone that really trusts, and I really enjoy the team that he's built around around me and around like the business in terms of like our leadership team is a team that I really, really love being a part of. I'm excited about our plans. I believe in our mission, and I believe in the fact that we are on the right track to deliver the things we committed to, but also that we are having a positive impact on the people that visit our spaces. Our focus is really about how we make people work lives happier. Yeah. And I think it's a mission that I think is a good mission to have, because we can't change the jobs people are working on, but we can change their environment. We can make their environment as easy and as fulfilling as possible.
And that sort of leads me on to my next question, like sort of what does a day in Anna's world actually look like? What do you do from day to day? This is where the wear many hats comes in, isn't it? Because you're head of ops. So
so lots of things. And it's funny, I was with my team earlier and I was telling them, I'm going to record a podcast later, and I've not even looked at the questions. And I said, like, what? So and they asked, like, so what kind of questions are they going to ask? Like, one of them is like, what does the day look like? And they all laughed. Like, well, that's a good question. No, but my day varies a lot. And again, that's something I really love about my job. But as I said, our focus at Work.Life is really about delivering on that mission of making people work lives happier. And we do that really focusing on a few areas. The first one is the member experience, and we want to make sure that our members have the best experience when they're coming through the spaces, and making sure that every touch point is human, is cared for, is simple, is easy for them to access what they need to access. Again, like, how do we remove all the things that they don't need to worry, so they can come in, focus on their jobs and just be as productive as they can be, and at the same time enjoy the time they are spending in the office
and the experience.
So for me, it's like that focus is like, how do we continue to really provide the best member experience for our members? At the moment, is also like how we are scaling the business in a way that is going to sustain the growth we want to go into. And it's a big focus for me right now. And I spend currently a lot of time reviewing our processes.
Right.
And potentially processes that served us in the past
may not
serve us now. And is then how do we make the decision to throw that away and implement new things? And how do we bring the team on board with that? Yeah. That is really important. And then another, and is not the last point, but definitely the most important one, is the people and working with my team. And, I've got a team of 50 people now, and it's just making sure that everyone has the support, and, they all get the support they need from me, from the teams that are working with them. So that's a big focus for me, because I want to make sure that our team is happy so they can also then continue to deliver for our members. So I would say those are my 3 kind of anchors.
You must travel as well, because you've
traveled. Yes. I've got a bike, so I go around on my bike.
Not to Manchester, though.
Not Manchester. Or Reading.
No.
And Hammersmith. I don't go to Hammersmith.
But also you can get on the Elizabeth line now.
That is true.
Take your bike then.
That's changed my life.
And
I live in East London, so...
So you get on where? This is such a good line.
I live in Dalston, so I go from Dalston to Whitechapel, and then Whitechapel I change.
It's amazing.
Street, So quick. It's changed my life.
And then all the way up to Reading, Maidenhead. Yeah, it's so good. I think it's amazing line. And it
took a bit long too.
Yes, but it's worth it.
It was worth it.
It was worth the wait. And it just seems to be running smoothly all the time.
Yeah, I never had any issues. So
yes, and it's bigger and it's cooler, and love it. I'm a big fan of the Lizzie line. So let's talk about challenges. What kind of challenges are you facing right now?
Yeah, so as I touched a little bit just on the previous question, definitely like how do we basically how do we review our processes to be able to then be ready for the scale and for the growth that we are aiming to? I think is really important. I think for us, it's just making sure that we are setting up everything so we can actually continue to build on all those things, the member experience, etc. I think is so important that our processes are right. And that means being brave enough sometimes to really say, this is not serving us anymore. And we need to tackle it. And it's really hard when also I've been the one putting those processes in place in the first place.
At least it was you and not someone else. So
it's like, I've just spent so much time thinking about it. It's not serving us at the moment. So how do we reinvent it? And how are we able to start afresh and almost like if we were to build it now, what would it look like? What would it look like? And it's really hard sometimes to do that exercise, right? Because as humans, we tend to continue to build on what we already know. Yeah,
I hear this a lot. Yeah. Sometimes people don't always like change or they know they might need to change, but it's, we've got to do this. So, keep putting it off And
that's the other side. Like, how do we implement that change in a way that is smooth and we can bring the team on board? How we can make sure that the team feels supported to be the ones driving that change.
Absolutely. They've got to be on board, haven't they, with you and your...
Yeah, and that's also why I love the job I do, because any of those processes, any of the change that we need to implement, we do it with a team. And all of those processes are there because of the team. The processes are there to enable the team. And we need to work on them with the team. So I love to work on these, actually getting everyone's feedback. What's working, what's not working, how can we improve it? And I think we'll talk about AI a little bit later, but I think AI is opening quite a lot of opportunities and we should embrace them, right? And not be afraid of those. And I think is, again, how do we embed that in the business again, without losing that personal touch as well?
And that is literally my next question. So where do you think the industry's heading? AI, we've talked about ESG, you and I briefly. We've got the remote working side and we've got tech, all these different things, all these buzzwords, I guess. So where do you think it's heading?
I think, the flex industry is probably one of the most quickest to evolve industries in terms of especially in real estate, right? Because flex came in, took all of these spaces that used to be quite, old school in a way.
Absolutely.
And it's really, if we looked at what the office looked like 30 years ago and what it looks like now, it's amazing, right? It's just very different. And I think that is something I really love about this industry, is like the ability to continue to evolve. And I think for Work.Life as well, we see that daily. We are so obsessed with member feedback. And the fact that we can bring that member feedback and then implement it in our new spaces, and we can improve the products almost real time.
That's great.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And we see these across the industry. And so I think there is a lot of potential for the industry to continue to evolve, and potentially what we're seeing now is going to be very different in 5 years, because also the way people are working is very different.
Yeah.
AI is impacting also the type of jobs we have. Yeah. It's going to impact the type of technology that we need to access in our offices. So the flex will have to continue to evolve their offering to be able to accommodate that. So it's I'm excited about being part of that journey, because maybe we don't even know what it looks like, you know?
I love seeing all the new buildings and the new spaces coming into fruition at the moment. Like I love seeing, especially post-COVID. I do talk about COVID a lot. I'm so sorry. I hope at some point I just stop talking about it. But post-COVID, everything looks so inviting. Yeah. Like the office, and you've got it in your title, like Work.Life. Like, I'm assuming that's to do with the balance that we have. That's around the title. I'm assuming that's my take on it anyway. Yeah. Or is it just work? But I'm assuming we make these spaces now to make it more attractive for people to come back to work. And you know what? Like there's dogs in the offices, there's lounges, there's, quiet spaces, there's dark rooms. One client I know, they have a sauna in their office. All this stuff, and I'm prayer rooms, to be so inclusive, and it's so different now, isn't it?
And for us, like the name Work.Life comes from the fact that we want to make sure that we enable our members to bring themselves to work. Okay. So it's a way how you don't have to have your work self and your life self.
Yes.
Both can merge.
There we go. I was on the right path.
It's true. And it's how we embed that in our space in a way that people feel that can just be themselves at work. How do we enable all of that? We are dog friendly. We've got all these amenities, and we want to make sure that that's meaningful to our members. I agree with you. I think what happened with COVID, and we talk about COVID again, but COVID is just it's just basically accelerated that, because we knew that from before, right? We knew that we had to adapt the office space to people's needs and people's requirements in terms of what they are looking at when they're thinking about their jobs. With COVID, we need to have almost like an excuse for people to leave their homes and come back to the office, right? So
absolutely,
office is no longer desk and chairs. Yeah, it's a lot more than that, and we need to continue to evolve that, because those requirements will change and the industry will adapt.
Yes,
and I think AI is going to play an important role there, and for us, it has a big important role there, which is how we're going to use AI to make our process more efficient. Yeah. So our teams have more time to connect with our members at that personal level.
The important bits.
So the important is like, how do we enable our teams to do more of that? Because we've removed all the admin stuff that goes in the background to make that experience what it is. Yeah. So for us, that's been really the focus. And I think what can be dangerous about the AI if then we turn that up too much, and then
we lose the personal touch.
We'll lose the personal touch,
because we don't want that.
We don't want that.
Definitely not.
And one of our values is about being personal, and that's for sure something we'll continue to hold very dearly.
Good.
And we want to make sure that, again, the processes are there to enable our teams to really deliver that personal service that we want for our members.
I love that.
So it's just finding that balance.
Yeah, I keep hearing this word a lot lately, balance. It's it's very important, isn't it? Which I don't think we ever really used to do. I think it was work. I'm not saying that, a lot of people don't do that. Obviously there is, but to have that balance, I think is so important, especially at the pace that we run at now. Especially within the UK, we go at crazy speeds in London, and we're doing multiple jobs, some of us, to cut down on the, having such a big workforce, some of us are doing 2 or 3 jobs under one, but wearing many hats. which obviously, is what this show is about. So AI is definitely a friend of yours then?
It's a friend, but we need to make sure that it doesn't turn into an enemy. So finding that balance is really, really key.
It's a big beast, isn't it?
Big beast.
I think you need to know about it. I think, if you don't use it, a lot of our guests say you'll be left behind. My mum's 78. I'm teaching her how to use ChatGPT.
Great.
She asks me so many questions and I'm like, just look, instead of Googling, ask ChatGPT. I'm still getting there, but I'm teaching her, that's where we're heading.
Yeah.
Like, because it pulls in from so many sources, which is fantastic, really. I mean, it really is. So you and I spoke about ESG just before the show, but ESG is obviously the buzzword at the moment still. What does it really mean to you in your work at Work.Life? I know that you're a B Corp, so obviously this is part of what you do and deliver.
Yeah, this is really the foundation of how we run our operation. It's been a part of everything almost from the beginning.
Yeah.
We became a B Corp 4 years ago.
Okay.
First time.
Congrats.
And we really use that as a framework to build on our sustainability strategy overall.
Mm-hmm.
There are many frameworks, and we found that one was quite helpful for us because it's quite holistic.
Yes.
And it helped us to kind of really communicate the work we were doing to our members, to our teams. It's quite an easy framework to engage with.
Yeah.
And there are many, but this felt to us something that we can go with, and actually it's been really, really helpful.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing journey for us. It's also allow us to understand what are the things we're really good at, but all the things that we can be better at. Yes. What are the opportunities? Mm-hmm. And it's really helped us to kind of go into that with an open mind to understand, okay, these are the improvements we can make. We're now looking at how do we use other frameworks to continue that work, because of course there are limitations on the B Corp framework.
Of course.
We'll continue to look at frameworks that will continue allow us to elevate that sustainability and ESG foundation. Things like now working on our net zero strategy. We're currently using Greenly is our carbon accounting platform, and we use a framework to then be able to build our net zero strategy. We need to continue to evolve, and we continue to evolve the frameworks that we bring together at Work.Life to drive our sustainability agenda. It's really exciting and this is not public yet, so I'm going to share it for the first time. But we recertified as B Corp this year.
Okay.
And we're now the highest score B Corp Flex workspace provider in the industry. So it's really, really exciting.
Congrats.
Especially considering our size.
Yes.
We're definitely the one with the biggest score. And that's been the fruit of the work of all our team, and a project that I've been really proud to lead.
That's the great thing about, and congratulations. That is it's marvelous to be able to get to that point. But it's B Corp, I find, is very much you actually have to put your, like where they say put your money where your mouth is. Yes. It's kind of like you're going to put your actions. You actually have to put them in place. Like you can't just talk about it. You actually have to do it.
Definitely. Yeah.
And prove it. Yeah. Which is pretty remarkable, really, because I think you can get a lot of certifications and then it's just you've got them.
Yeah.
But do you actually are you following through, and are you really this one I think really makes you.
And what I love B Corp is because you have to recertify every 3 years.
Yes.
There is no way you will have to continue to do the work.
Yes.
If you don't do the work for 1 year because you've been busy, you will have to catch up at some point.
That's it.
And now they've got the new criteria. So the next time we recertify in 3 years is going to be with the new criteria. So we're now working on the foundations to make sure that we adapt our sustainability strategy to make sure that we are driving the new criteria to make sure that when the time comes, we're ready for that recertification. So
it's like thinking ahead, isn't it?
Definitely.
It's great. I'm really excited. Are you going to publish these stats and about them?
Yeah, we will.
Super. I'll share it on my platform. Yeah, definitely. Well, congratulations. I like to see stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And ESG is, obviously working for me. It's with the environment, sustainability, and governance. But it's about working. For me, I love how B Corp works around its people.
Yeah.
And working with our teams and working with and making sure we were developing people. And and things are important, mental health, and it touches on sort of everything, doesn't it? To do with
very holistic. Yeah,
it's holistic. You said that word. I really like that word.
Yeah, it's really nice because it's about the people, it's about the planet, but it's also about not just our people, as in our employees, but also about our suppliers.
Community,
how
suppliers,
do we work with our community of suppliers? How do we work with our local communities? How do we give back to the wider? It's so vast. But I love that about the framework, and I think
me too.
It gives it quite a lot of strength.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's what gives it and what makes it limited, because when you are so broad, it's really hard to then
nail down.
The new criteria does have a little bit more like a net zero and what you're doing in terms of being carbon neutral, but it's harder when you are just so broad on the areas that you are touching on. Whereas other frameworks can really nail on, like, okay, we're going to be specific about this is about carbon neutrality. This is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So B Corp has that strength that can also be a limitation. But again, because we are using one framework, it's not that we're limited to that framework only. We can add on multiple frameworks.
National Living Wage. There's so many, isn't there?
So many things that we can do.
Love that. I love that you're doing that as well.
And it's finding the right one for you, or the right ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Otherwise, you might be putting your efforts into something that you might not need, and there might be something else that you're missing out on. But there's so much to get involved with, isn't there, to make the planet and the working environment a better place, and the communities that we live in, like you say. So, obviously we spoke about COVID briefly, but do you think the industry's innovating fast enough, or do you think we're still playing catch up?
It's innovating fast enough. It's a good question. I think it depends on who in the industry. I think some players really, really strong. Maybe some others that are not as strong.
Yeah.
Overall, I think we're doing okay.
Yeah.
I think there are still huge opportunities, and there will continue to be. And I just think the way and where we are positioned as an industry really give us that leverage. We can actually do so much more.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how do we leverage that? How do we bring that on board? How do we make sure that we continue to listen to our members?
Yeah.
And how do we get that feedback to feed into then how we evolve the product?
Yeah.
If we stay very close to that, we will continue to be at the forefront of any innovation, because we're getting that from the members.
Feedback. Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, and I think it's about how we work with that, and then of course how we plug in all these new technologies, being AI, being others. I think it's how we can make sure that we continue to do that.
And then we've got sort of smart tech and things like that within the operations of the buildings.
Yes,
smart
buildings, and again, that connects hugely with ESG. Something that is really important to also make sure that we continue to be at the forefront. And sometimes it's hard because as flex operators, oftentimes you are renting a space, right?
Yeah.
So you also have to work very closely with your landlord. So it's also making sure that that relationship is as positive as it can be, and how they can see that as an opportunity for them to improve their own building. So that's a really key one as well.
Definitely. So looking back, what moment or project are you most proud of? You've got a few things that you've got going on. You can have more than one. What one jumps to mind?
Definitely the B Corp. I mean, it's the project I'm really proud of. We're leading the first certification and the recertification. So twice in a row. But what I'm really proud of is how we managed to engage the whole team. And this has not been my project, it's been the company's project, it's been everyone's project, and we made sure that everyone was a part of it. And for me, enabling the team, enabling us to achieve that has been fantastic. And I love working with my team. I love seeing them engaged. I love seeing them excited about a project that in this case was not part of their day-to-day job, because it's something that I think it is, because we should build together in your day-to-day. But initially it's like, oh, why do I need to work on this project as well as doing something else? But actually the way we've embedded it on everyone's job has been brilliant, and that's really helped us achieve what we've achieved, and being able to then recertify these at these score is really like a result of everyone's effort. And I'm very proud of everyone, and just being able to be a part of that journey has been something I've really enjoyed.
I think we've had one or two guests come on, and they say about, one of the projects or things that they're most proud of is the teams that they've built and worked with, and I think that's so lovely to say that, because it means that they're talking about others and not just themselves. And that's kind of what you just said, really, isn't it? That you did it together.
Yeah. And what I liked about this specific project is because it enabling, and, my job, I work with everyone in every department, even more now as head of operations.
Yes.
But the first time I led it, I was an area manager, and these has really allowed me to then work with everyone in the business, and it's beyond my direct team. Yeah. And I love those multi-departmental teams. I love those kind of projects. I think it's so exciting when you put people from different departments in the same room.
Yes.
All working toward the same goal.
Yes.
It's when that thing clicks, it's just magic, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're just so much in our silos and in our worlds. And when we're able to connect those departments, make those bridges, you're just like creating magic. And I think that's been the thing I loved about this project specifically, not just the project itself, but like what's enabled and the people that put together.
Lovely. I love that. So what's something you wish you knew when you were starting out? Because I don't know. your career and your, I
think that careers are not linear. It doesn't matter if you change your mind. I think when we are younger, we're always very much like, I'm going to do this, and this is what I'm going to do next. And it's very linear. It's quite boring for me.
Yes, correct.
And
me too.
You always feel like you are a bit trapped into that, and you're like, there is no escape from it. And actually, it's not true. And you can always start again if you want to. Nothing is like stopping you from doing that. And I'm always very happy when I hear about people that pivoted their whole life at 40, 50, 60, whatever, that's amazing, that's exciting, because life is too short.
It is.
We're going to spend the 100 years, I hope, that I'm going to be here.
Yes.
Doing the same thing. It's going to be very boring.
Exactly.
So I just want to make sure that I'm learning. I'm meeting new people. I'm meeting people that are challenging the way I see the world. Because we all have different ways, and that's fine. That's what actually adds the richness that we have in the world we live in. Like, we all perceive things in different ways.
We do.
Understanding each other is so important. It's so key. And I think if we are really set on our own paths, then it's really hard for us to understand the other, because
blinkered.
That's the only, thing we see.
I always say remain teachable, because always be learning,
Yeah.
And we were speaking earlier about different cultures and different countries and different, I'm the same. Like, I love to travel. I love to see different, it's Black History Month at the moment. Like, I love learning about new things and just opening up my eyes to how it was, how it is now, what we can do better.
Yeah.
You're right. You don't have to sit in the same space the whole forever, And
I do believe that a lot of the problems that we're facing nowadays as humanity come exactly from that we're not able to see or understand the other. We lost our empathy at times. And
sad, really.
It's really sad. And I think the more we put ourselves into that, and the more we challenge ourselves, is so important. And people tend to say that as you get older, you get a little bit more set in your own ways. I'm really hoping I don't.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Your mum is a great example. She's learning how to
do ChatGPT.
That's amazing. And
online banking. She doesn't understand why the banks are all closing. I'm like, Mum, the high street bank. I'm like, Mum, it's moving, it's evolving. Like, nobody needs the high street bank anymore. She doesn't trust like the Monzos and the Wires and because she's just used to going into a bank, and having cash. Like, that's not how we are now. It's really changed. So I'm just trying to get her to see that. And it's okay, Mum. Like, not all your money is going to be stolen because it's online only. You can't physically see it. I don't use any high street banks, and I haven't done for a long time.
And there is one thing that is for sure, like, the only constant in life is change.
Yes.
We need to be able to adapt. This is what our And again, I'm bringing my biologist self here.
That's okay. It's the first.
What brought us here was exactly that. Evolution, change. And we need to embrace it. Getting stuck to the same ways of doing things is just not going to happen, because that's not how the world evolves and how the world continues to evolve. And we are not in control of that. Even if sometimes we believe we are, we're not. So we just need to adapt and be able to just go with the flow and make the most of it.
Yeah, I have a lovely job here with the podcast. I get to hear so many great snippets of information, and it makes me open my eyes to other people's opinions and views on things. And I love it. I love hearing what people have to say.
You're a brilliant host.
I'm getting used to it now. It was daunting at the start. Actually, it's a conversation, isn't it? At the end of the day, and it's hearing like what people have to say in their journeys, and it's inspiring. And like what you just said about change, like you don't have to be in the same position. We've all got choices, right?
Yeah. We are privileged enough, and sometimes we should take that privilege in our favor.
Definitely.
In a way that is conscious and is, okay, I can make this change for my life. Unfortunately, not everyone can do it.
Yeah.
But we can.
Yeah.
And let's use it also in service of others as well.
Definitely.
I think that's so important.
Yes.
And taking that is something that I think is key.
And hopefully our listeners, young and older, or experienced, should I say, they can hear this and say, oh, actually, I don't have to do the same thing forever. Because sometimes we just, like you say, you just do it, don't you?
Yeah.
So there you go. You heard it here first. You don't have to do what you were originally doing starting out. You can change.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think also it's a problem. Like even our school system is still set in that way, right?
Yeah. No.
I always loved history, and I was really heartbroken when I was 15 and I had to decide I want to be a scientist, so I'm going to leave history behind. I was like, but I love history, and it's just so sad that we had to make those choices
one or the other
at such a young age, because why not just learning everything and then you make the decision on what you want to do? So we tend to really specialize from a really young age, and it's a shame because it's just we're losing that.
I mean, I could go off on a tangent on this. There's things that we needed to have learned when we were younger, like finance, like credit cards. Like I wished I'd known not to do credit cards when I was, like just something as simple as that, or even just, being kind to other people.
Yes.
I don't think
that's the most important.
Humanity. Yeah. There used to be a subject called humanities, and I don't know if they still have that in schools. My kids are grown, but I think it's so important to, and just be more respectful of each other and just be kind. Maybe it'll be a more peaceful place. Well, that's what I'd like to think. So if someone came to you tomorrow saying, I want to do what you do, what would you say?
Oh my God, that's hard, because it's really hard for me to pin down the whole thing. But if someone asks me, like, how can I feel what you're feeling where you are now, which I feel like, I don't want to use the word happy because it sounds like, happiness has so many other connections, but I feel fulfilled about the job I do. And if someone asks me, like, how do I do that? How can I get to that point? I think it's really about, again, and going back to the initial part of the conversation, think about what's important to you. Think about what are your values. Think about what are the things that are non-negotiables for you. And for me personally, it's about curiosity and fulfilling that curiosity. For me, it's about solving problems. For me, it's about finding ways to make sure that I leave the world a better place than I found it. Like these are all the things that really drive me. And those are the things that have been the North Stars of my path. Yeah. And my path is my path. It couldn't have been something else. And it's
quite diverse. It's quite diverse.
And it will continue to be, I hope.
That's good. Yeah, you're definitely not sitting in one space. I love it how broad it is.
And I think the most important thing is that you feel fulfilled. Because again, if you are fulfilled, then that's passing on to the people you're working with. And I think that energy carries on. And I think that's the most important thing that you can pass on to others as well.
So this is recorded forever. So this is out there now. Well, it will be when we go live.
I'm very curious to listen back to these
I know.
in like 10 years. And
yeah.
where am I going to be? I'm going to be very keen to know.
Great.
Where it's going to be. I don't know. It's
even 5 years. You'll have to do a listen every 5 years. Oh, I love that. So let's switch off from work.
Yeah.
We spoke a little bit before the show, but what do you like to do outside your day job? You mentioned Greece and traveling. So what else is there? What do you like to do?
Greece, traveling, film, and of course, big part of my out of work, my life out of work is my family. And, I have a small son.
Oh.
He's a year and a half, and my partner. Just this weekend, we spend the whole weekend just running around parks, stepping on autumn leaves, taking in like all the autumn feels.
So good for you.
Yeah, so good. Just spending time with our friends. Like, I think connection is a big focus for me when I'm not. I mean, it's interesting because when I'm at work, it's all about connection as well.
Of course.
Expanding that and just making sure that I make the most of my time with my family is definitely been a big part of my days, on top of all the other things I'm doing, like film, etc., etc. But
which is your passion.
Which is my passion and my hobby. But that time with my family has definitely been the thing I've been prioritizing the most, because it's where I take a lot of the energy and the things to help me carry on.
Beautiful. Do you speak Portuguese too? And English? Is he bilingual?
He's bilingual.
Love that.
We speak Portuguese at home, and he speaks English and sign language at school, which is really nice.
Really?
Yeah, he's learning sign language. Yeah, I know, it's amazing. And yeah, he's really good.
Wow.
He's teaching me sign language because I don't know it myself.
There you go.
He's very good.
I don't know one word.
Sometimes he comes up with new things. I'm like, I need to check.
Yes. Should he be saying? Brilliant.
But so he's it's been really nice to also embark on that journey of motherhood since a year and a half ago. It's been really fun, and I've learned so much from it. And it's been really wonderful.
Wow, you managed to do all of that and your career at the same time.
I try.
And this is the women thing, isn't it?
It's the women thing.
Yeah, we don't share this with the man. It's just that's definitely something we have to juggle, isn't it?
Yeah. I've got a really amazing partner, and I don't think I could be where I am without him. And in the sense of like how we share that responsibility with our son is really, really key, and it's very much like quite equally shared. And
it should be, right?
That's how it should be, and
I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
When it's done properly.
That's another thing. Like, if there is one thing you should do in life, is to find the right partner.
Oh yeah, now that's something they should tell you in school.
Exactly. That should be like a big...
I made a few mistakes. I really did.
But that's, I probably think, is a good advice.
Yeah, I really messed up there. I failed that one. Not now, though, of course. Oh, wow. This is funny. So last one, what's the best bit of advice you've ever been given, Anna? What would you say?
I was thinking about this earlier, but I think it's about leave things better than you found them.
Love that.
Being people, places, and the planet. I think, if that's, for me, been a good advice, because, we cannot change the world, but we can change the things we are in contact with every day.
Yeah.
So if we can do that, it's going to be a ripple effect, right? So if everyone does the same, the world is going to be a better place. So I think
agree.
It's a good advice that I kind of follow every day, or try to.
That's beautiful. I think you and I are on a similar
wavelength. Yeah,
definitely. It's got some synergy. I love that, Anna. Thank you so much for coming down and talking to us today. There's so much in there for the listeners, especially someone coming into this type of career, or any career really. You've been very broad, so we can, it's a very good podcast, and I think our listeners will probably want to contact you. So
please
LinkedIn,
do. Yeah,
absolutely. And I definitely need to come down to your Holborn site, because you're literally just there. So we'll book that in before you go.
Do.
Yeah. Oh, I love that, Anna. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you so much.
And looking forward to this going live. But Yeah, you take care.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's the end of today's episode. So please do forward on to family, friends, or anyone looking to get into the FM or property world. And yes, feel free to contact Ana Bernardo. She's the head of operations for Work.Life on LinkedIn, and she can answer any questions that you have. And that's it for today. Take care.